this part. uh, okay, can everyone see? All right. Okay. Okay. So let's draw. So let's try drawing some women the way he draws and see how he approaches them. Okay, approaches the drawing. Okay. So compared to because you want to give that soft look, right? So by the way, let me know if I'm off the screen, but like, yeah, I should be okay because I'm duplicating. Um, all right. So if I'm drawing, let me draw the, okay. If I'm drawing, let's say a shape, right? Okay. So if I really put like a lot of lines here and then kind of break it with shadow and so on, it will give this very like hard look. Like it will look like it's more muscular, right? So that's why like he doesn't. I mean, yes, his women are like some of them are much, like fit, but they're kind of like yeah. So they want to show that he's they're kind of soft, right? So he doesn't really. Oh, sorry. Let me put this on top. Yeah, so he will just do like this, right? And then yeah, just probably just subtly add maybe lighter shadow to say that it's soft. Okay. Um, all right. Let's take. And also, just wanted to say before we start drawing, um, Frazetta, there's a video of him on YouTube where he's actually talking. It's all about shapes. Okay. So the way, like, okay, for example, this one, right? Like, there's like you can almost like and even when you just look at that shape, it's just beautiful by itself. But now the fact that it's a woman, and then like you had all the different garments and so on, it just makes it more beautiful, right? So it's all about shapes, and I think how do you know? The big question is like how do you know which one is a pleasing shape to the eye and not? I think there's good news and bad news. Good news is that there's an infinite amount of ways you can get really pleasing shapes and compositions. Uh, and the bad news is that, yeah, you really needed just to observe and kind of find your own way into like what you find interesting. But the typical thing is contrast. So, for example, if I okay, so the contrast, like for example, like simple things like this pointing, like the round kind of broken by this. Okay. So there's always contrast between like a round and then like a straight shape or a sharp shape, or even if it's a like for example, sometimes you see the moon and then the sharp shape breaking into the moon. These things are like just I don't know. It's just contrast is just beautiful in general. Okay. Um, Even contrast in color, right? Like there's a reason why like the hair is like so beautiful because it's like so this contrast with this the light lines of um, the body. So before we draw, oh, there you go. So before we draw I just wanted to show a little trick. I was talking about hair and fur, right? So let's just say I'm just drawing two shapes here. Okay. Okay. Let's say I want to make this look like hair. I want to make this look like fur. Okay. Um, so for the hair, let's say the light is hitting here. I will just leave the space on top and then do this, which is like I'm just basically drawing lines. Okay. Right. With the fur, I can do the same thing. I can leave but what I will do is instead of just having like really well combed effect, I will start to break it. I'll start to do random, and then I will even go out of the designed shape. And you see how it's different, right? You see like that the other one like feels like fur. But I can still leave this like area because it's still like fur is still hair and it still okay. All right, enough waiting or instructions. Let's just draw. Okay, I wanted to focus on this lady here. All right. We're just going to focus on not the line, right? Okay. Um, my brush is a bit too big, I think. Okay. All right. So let's start with so everyone is ready. Like, okay, Jay, you have your thing. So let's start with the head. Okay. So and you can just follow. You can follow along. So for the moment, I'm just putting general shapes, and you can see I'm barely touching the paper. Just really lightly putting stuff. And don't like don't worry to be sketchy. Don't worry. Just be messy. Okay. Like I'm not going to draw like the exact size. Okay. I just want to by drawing looking at Frazetta is almost like drawing with him. Okay. So it's just that's what I'm imagining. So so everyone has the general shape for the. And by the way, feel free to share what you notice also as you're drawing, because that's the important part. Is that when you're doing a study, when you draw like copying or studying an artist, is to have that internal conversation of like, oh, like I like the way you're not going to like everything, um, but you generally choose an artist that you like. Okay, so again, I'm slowly going into the shoulder here, and like we talked about, his women are muscular. So like here, for example, the shoulder is pronounced, and women tend to have like narrow shoulder. So okay. That's one of the things you can do to differentiate the more masculine anatomy and female anatomy. All right. So everyone can see, right? It's like, sorry. If it's so again, just the outline, okay? At the moment, I'm just looking at it as like drawing the outline, and then I'm going to go back in just to do like another pass for the shadow. But and don't worry about making mistakes. Just and I'll be interested to see also like how you interpret his female anatomy. So here, like yeah, like so for example, the modern like anime, like they would just do this. They wouldn't put any flesh on the hips. But Frazetta, you know, he he had some healthy women, I guess, was to like to model and as inspiration. So another thing you can do whenever you are drawing, especially now that your eye is like looking up at the screen and then going back to your sketchbook or the canvas that you're using, right? You can also like kind of you've seen people measure stuff with the pen, like doing this, right? So I usually when I'm drawing like this, when I'm looking at either like an object or like a person, my eye basically like traces the outline, right? And then so my eye and my hand like are coordinating, right? So my eye does this and then my hand does that, right? So like and then like my hand does that same shape, right? So just yeah, make sure that you follow really well the outline. I always uh I have a love hate relationship with the kind of tablet like this, which is this is good because it does help with your posture because you're looking up at the screen, but it just takes some practice to. Yeah, I think I made the shoulder too broad, but it's okay. Have you ever copied any other artists like this before? Mhm. So another reason why I wanted to do this digitally is because, well, first of all, just to show you side by side, so you can see how that is being copied. But also, I can draw over the reference photo, right? So kind of basically, I simplified the face kind of like this, okay, and then I went down like this, and so on. Okay. But at the same time, when I'm drawing the outline, I'm being mindful that like there are cylinders here, right? Like there's like one cylinder here. So these are actually 3D shapes, even though we're just drawing the 2D. Oh, is it too far, Robert? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Hmm? Yeah. Okay. Um, okay. Let's do again. I'm not drawing the whole figure here. Let me go back. Remove those. Yeah. Um, again, yeah. I think he one thing about Frazetta is that he uh, prioritizes beauty over realism. Okay, so because I mean he was kind of drawing those fantasy. Uh, yeah, and he's basically doing the. So let's say this is the leg, right? It goes from big to small, and then you have the knee here, and it goes again from big to small. Okay, because if you just draw like you know, it might be a little bit. Don't draw too straight. Okay, all right. So trying to get that thigh here. Okay, so again, for the hand, I'm just going to do a little shape here. Okay, so now once I have like a first pass at, I mean, I can even like draw the hair just to complete the silhouette. Yeah. Um, so now let's look at just the shadow shapes. Okay. So, well, before I do that, let me check how you manage to. Cool. Nice. Yeah. So I think. Oh, that's not true. That's good. I think the leg should be a little bit apart. Yeah. Yes. That'd be awesome. Oh, that's great. Okay, yeah. So Robert and Lonnie done started doing the shadow. Yeah, that's it. That's the. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a first pass at the. Um, so actually, you can do this like. So it depends on what you're using. So I don't mean it now, but when you're trying to draw a drawing, if you're going to do the drawing in pencil, you can actually draw these shapes in lightly in pencil and then go in with the ink. Okay, But if you're going to start with pencil, yeah, if you draw these lines, it will be difficult to remove them, or smooth out the lines. But let's just assume that we're basically just studying the shadow. So I'm kind of what just like I did with the outline of the body. I'm doing the outline of the shadows. Okay. So here, actually, you see like this area. It's actually there's a light reflected back, just like when you when you do the study with the ball. So that's why that area is brighter than the rest. Yeah, roughly. Okay. So, and then I'll add a first layer of lines, just like we did the different. You would do the different gradients or the different levels of different values. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So I'm just being very messy, but so let me finish this and then I will show. So whenever you have, let's just let's take this leg for example, right? Like let's say, oh, I think I took a really big brush. Was I using this? Okay. So let's just say the light is hitting this way, right? I mean, yes, it is a cylinder. So, I mean, if I put a cylinder next to it, so if the light is coming this way, you will do this, right? Which is fine. Wait, what was I using? Was I using this? Never mind. Yeah, okay. So you will do this, right? Which is fine because it's a cylinder, right? So it's very flat. I mean, there's no texture on it. But here, the leg is different. The leg, you can do uh, the shadow just like that, but it will wrap around the shapes. Okay, so I'll just zoom in for a little bit here. It's too much. Okay. So so you see like it wraps around here, and then I'll do this. Okay. So generally you have this bone that kind of casts the shadow, and then the knee will also cast shadow. So this part will be darker, right? So I will add like so then it kind of looks like this. Okay. So just to say that the more you are observing the human body, the more you understand how the muscles can be simplified when you're shading them. Okay, it's not just about uh, like doing flat lines, right? It's about actually understanding how things wrap around the shapes. Oh, you mean the shading. Okay. Oh, that's good. And Frazetta will do this when he has women. Just like he will highlight the face and the ass. Because they'll be always posed in a way where like the light is their face and there. So, yeah, but painting here. Yeah, you have more examples here. And he does that. Anyway. There's a famous one where I forgot the yeah again you have another one here. I think you have I think there's a famous one where it's like she's being sacrificed to like a serpent or something. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. So, what remarks do you have after drawing like this? What anything you notice from the way you draw women, or like you like what can we? It's kind of like crazy in the ass. Something like that. No, the thing is like yeah, the it's almost like and he says it in the interviews that you can have something that is like all gray, but you need like some focus. So here it's like yeah, basically he just wants the. I mean, there's a reason why he put it in that in the middle, right? So yeah. Okay. Um, Again, it's all about time, right? Like so. Actually, now like we can actually spend kind of like the whole afternoon drawing this, right? But so what I'm saying is that it's all about putting in the time to actually slowly working out. And the thing about pencil is that you can remove it. It's not like watercolor or something where you put it and it's difficult to remove, or like ink. Of course, digitally, I don't have to say it's easy to remove. But yeah, the for the pencil, it's still uh, easy to remove. So for I brought some tools. So you can use whatever you can use a normal pencil. So I have this folder because at some point it becomes too small. So I need the grip. So if it's like this, I don't have the same stability, right? So uh, at the moment I'm kind of using this, which is like a thick lead, and you can sharpen it. I have that thing to sharpen at home, and this is the stump, to make it like smooth. That was here. Um, I think you can also try. I love both erasers actually, but I mean, I love the kneaded eraser, but I just don't like it's just like it's just sticky. But anyway, I don't. Um, but we need an eraser is like you can shape it the way you want and kind of remove like uh, small parts. Like for example, let's say you like shaded everything in the same color. You can remove some with the kneaded eraser and then like spread spread the what do you call it, the powder over it. Yeah. Okay. Any questions before we go to maybe the male figure? So for women, like yeah, some like fit, a little bit broader shoulders, like or like muscular shoulders, uh, like fleshy hips, and then yeah, big big ass, I guess. And then yeah, okay. Which again, like it's completely different from someone like, for example, there's an erotic artist called Milo Manara, like but and he will draw the women like very like kind of like straight lines. So okay, let's go to the all right. Okay, I just chose these three. So Yeah, because we were looking at this, I think maybe we can draw this one again, like without the details, right? Just the general outline and the shading. Okay. Um, Maybe let's do something. Let's focus on like maybe like a smaller area so that we can spend a little bit more time with the muscles here. Trying to find trying to find an angle that works. Okay, should be should be good like this. All right. So again, I usually start with the head. Okay. So here, okay, let me do this. Let me show my thinking behind it, right? Like I can see that the face is here, and it's like the middle line of the face will be like this, right? Because it's not like he's being thrown like punched like that, right? And then I'll probably draw like a little, just like a little line here for the neck, and then I'll basically try to follow the the arm outline. Okay. So once I have that outline, then I can go in and basically like separate the back, and then I can start looking at the shading the little muscles there. Okay. So let me remove this. I'm going to draw on the side, on the right hand side here. So again, the middle of the face like this, right? So, oh, because you're drawing with pencil, so don't worry. Like, just draw. Like, give your first pass, because I think it's also important to actually, more than capturing the proportion, I want you to capture. It's actually more interesting to capture the energy. So, and in order to capture like that kind of frenetic energy, you need to move your hand also a little bit fast, like to get there. Okay, let's just say like this. Just do that outline first. I think I made the arm bigger, but it's fine. Sorry, I mean, the back, to be honest, the back was, to be honest, it's not realistic. No, I don't even, like, actually, didn't get the, like, yeah, like, and there is a bone here, but it's almost like, this is the whole plate, right? So there are no muscles here, to be honest, like, it would be like a whole plate, right? So he just, I just basically, in there's a cartoonist he calls it kayfabe. He's kayfabing it. He's like faking the. But again, that's also part of the is that people talk about style. Like I mean, the mistakes you make are basically are your style, right? Like, what the things that you decide to leave out or the things that you add actually become your style. Right. Once you got the outline, again, I don't want to go into the face because it's a bit complicated and I don't want to. So let's just focus on the body here, okay? Um, Again, if you want, you can lightly put the lines here to indicate where you're going to be doing the shading. You see what I'm doing? I'm just basically just like I did with the outline and then going in. I'm doing the same thing. Like I'm putting the outline first. So as I'm doing this, my eye is moving back and forth between the reference and my drawing. Okay. So okay, once I have that, then I can do. So instead of just doing, okay, let's say this is the one muscle part. Okay. So instead of doing like straight like this, try to again. You remember when I talked about wrapping the? Just try to wrap the the cross hatching around the shape. So in this case, if the light is coming this way, you know that if this number two, so sorry, number one is on top of number two, you know that this will cast a shadow. So then you know you can, and then you see like suddenly, slowly, you see something 3D coming, just basically materializing in front of your eyes, right? And trying to wrap the shadow around. So this is what I'm just adding the first layer. I'm basically trying just the same amount of pressure across. Okay. And it's all because we're all drawing something that should look 3D on a 2D surface, right? We're drawing on a paper. Uh, so every little bit helps to sell that illusion. And it's also kind of like telling your brain that this is a round shape. So now I'm kind of, I mean, I can always go back and do more, but actually I'm kind of, yeah, like okay with the first layer. So I'm going in and kind of adding some other layer. So, okay, let me show like just a little bit here. Let's say you have a, a round shape like this, and the light is coming from this way, right? So we said, okay, we will do this, and then it will. So it's almost like the cross hatching is almost like if I had my pen over the shape, what would it like? If I actually put something straight, right? Like then my lines will be straight. But if I draw something that is round, my lines will go like this. So you see, like there's a subtle rounded thing, right? So it makes it look like it's like, for example, the same thing. If I do this, it's okay, but it's just there's just more three dimensionality on this shape, right? Because I'm kind of following that roundness. And when I'm adding the second layer, you don't have to follow the same shape. You can actually, let's say you added the first layer like this. Okay. The second layer, you can actually go this way and then wrap it out from left to right like this. So this is like a very basic comic book inking technique and cross-hatching technique. When it comes to pencil, if you don't want the lines to appear too much and you want it to be smooth, you can use the side of the pencil, right? That's one thing. Another thing is like, but I mean, even for me, it's difficult too. It's actually moving the pencil very quickly, like to shade, and that actually can create that flat gray tone. So coming back to this, I am, as you can see, I'm again in comic book term they'll say spotting black. I'm yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like there's a display time, but they make this make it yeah, there isn't like a story time, right? But he goes a little bit here, he goes. Yeah, okay. Everything. Yes. You know, present that for like idiots. You know, the illustration books for anything everything. But that's cool. Were you studying like once school just like actual not like in school, but like yeah, just by but I don't know the names of the muscles. I just know like and I think at some point like there's also like your own invention, like your own like whatever the leg um, I don't know when I draw like there needs to be like I know that the knee is here. A lot of artists, especially like control muscular figures, that will really look into like the muscle groups and all that. But honestly, I feel like when I look at those kind of scientific drawings, they look kind of gross. Wait, sorry, what do you mean? They have those like no, there are no artists who are drawing the anatomy with muscles. So no, they do. I love how those studies. Yeah. Like they'll look into like medical drawings. Yeah. Of like actual muscle groups and all that stuff. Oh, when it's but that one is like when you see everything, right? Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, again, there is okay. Is a thin body not? I mean, when I say like a non-muscular body is not beautiful, no, it's not that. It's just that I don't know. It's just uh, I don't know. It's almost like we're just kind of programmed to love that sculpted shapes like that. Actually, I would even say like the person punching him is not like he's not typically how Frazetta would draw the muscular man. He looks a little younger. Yeah. Right? It feels like his muscles aren't developed, or like he's I don't know. It's just something. The for me, I think it's about like highlighting like the kind of like the muscles that I like drawing. So actually, I can. So if I were to draw like this kind of pose. Uh, Sorry, let me just quickly do one. I will just like draw because I like this part, like with that connects with the elbow. Of course, I love the triceps. Yeah, I'll probably like simplify something like this. Like I wouldn't go like for to each muscle. Like I'll just so yeah, it's really like how it's it is cheating. Like you're making choices. It's not uh, you know because if it's like yeah if it's too um, uh, realistic, might be also very stiff and static, not dynamic. Okay. Right. Okay.
Well, yeah, let's do the long one, which is different angle.
No, I think no, I think got the. I think yeah, I think it's generally accommodated. We like but I like the yeah the way we shape it. All right. Okay. Very good. Great. Again, this might be a little bit difficult one that we tackle when it comes to. But what you need to understand is, uh, again, the rule of three, right? Like you have a bunch of muscles going from light to dark, right? And then you just add some cast shadow, and then yeah, you get something like this. So let's just do. Oh, before we go, so any questions or any remarks about the male? I don't know the way the male musculature or the male body is drawn by Rosetta. It's actually difficult to explain why I find it, but it's almost like it's not a gym body. It's like a working man's arm. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's not. It's not like muscles that have gotten specific exercises that have made them shape them in a way. It's more like the arms were just being active, like climbing trees and like stuff like that. So it just feels like more like or like just like act like workers hands, right? Like which again makes me believe that maybe this is also his arm that he's referencing. Like he maybe like did a photo of himself.
I think back in the day, not a lot of people went to the gym, but they would actually do hard work.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
People were the zombie. You're always walking around with this.
So you work your shoulders. Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen like the Da Vinci surgical drawings, right, of muscles? See those in the notebooks?
No, but I think I'm sure
Yeah,
I've seen
those
them.
don't look real either,
Yeah.
just because they're just so real.
So actually, when I took a closer look, I didn't realize when I first saw this, I didn't realize it. But actually, it's a yeah, it's a. I didn't realize that the other legs, like it has basically, it's almost like a caterpillar lion. So um, this might be something like a John Carter. Uh, uh, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, uh, I wanted to first focus on this bear here. Again, did he look at reference? Yeah, I mean, yes, you can tell that he knows like the bear, but he adds some things, right? And he does this with almost every animal. Like the oh, wait, why is it? Wait, sometimes it acts really weird. Okay, okay. So you see, like this this back, he's kind of added almost like you know like the Godzilla back and stuff. Like he's added this hump here, and then of course like you can you can recognize the triceps, the arm, right, the forearm. He took the human anatomy here, and like even here, like he made it like yeah. I think he likes also this backbone, like in the like even when he draws tigers, he almost like accentuates the backbone. But usually in the when you look at bears, I mean I don't know, maybe like this bear is starving, but the like but you don't see that backbone for like the bear, but he just likes that. Okay, because I think these kind of little things makes something more sharper, something more menacing. Because if it's all rounded, it's like more soft. You have that this feeling of like softness, and he wanted basically by accentuating these things, like almost like he's turning this into almost like a monster, like almost like a dinosaur with spikes and stuff, right? Um, and generally the fur does stand out when they are scared or when they're about to attack. But yeah, okay. So
The puzzle is very good.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
one arm resting on the wallet,
Uh huh.
right?
Yes.
It's not really animal food.
No, no, it will do. But yeah, but I think there is like kind of like a human, so certain human quality to that. All right. Okay. So we draw this one. Um, So again, I'm kind of roughly putting out the area for the head. It's like here, and going out like even the yeah like I think it looks more like feline than like a yeah than better. I drew the open mouth like this. Again, remember like we're doing just the outline. Like you remember I said I like the three um, I like the outline, the rule of three, and then I do the first layer. My handwriting is really bad. First layer of shading, and then like basically like finish the finishing touches. Okay, so and as I'm doing the outline, instead of doing the line and then doing the fur, I just prefer to do the line like this. The arm, the other arm goes back like this. I'm following the backbone to the tail, and then so almost that has this I don't want to say peach shape, but like yeah, like like it goes a little bit from And it looks like a mixture of brushes. I think he's using brush and maybe some like dip pen, like croak quill that they used to use back then. Oh, that's another thing we talked about, like contrast. There's the contrast of you know dark, light, detail, non-detail, sharp, round, and then you can also play with the tools. Like for example, if you draw the outline with like a thick brush, and then you do the interior with like a thin like a pen, that's also really beautiful actually. I think I made the bear too fat. Okay, so all right, his belly is here. So I'm going to take that arm shape that I talked about. Okay, yeah, I think that's kind of the. So at this stage, it's easy to make adjustments. That's why I say like first do the outline where you're still not burdened by too many details. And then for the fur, remember when I showed the fur, it doesn't follow one direction, just kind of follows random, as opposed to like a hairstyle that will be combed in the same direction or something like that, like a more organized. So here I'm just adding the first layer of my shading. And then the third step, which is like adding the darkest areas. So again, remember when I told you that the blacking out some parts can push it back. So like for example, that the belly, is like in darkness because it's kind of pushed back to the back. I mean, it's pushed to the back. So of course, if you're using ink, it's difficult to, but not impossible. Like difficult to remove stuff, but it's not impossible. You can still use whiteout, but I mean, again, drawing over whiteout is also difficult. But well, does anybody want water or something? Yes, I have. Robert, Chris, Jim, or zero or zero? Yeah, I think the arm is a little bit thinner. Hmm. And we need to take space behind. Oh, wow. It doesn't really look like a bear, but I think it's more like a bear shape. Yeah, I think it's like, I mean, if you look at the lines, especially here, I mean, I didn't do that, I didn't draw it there, but There's like some randomness. Another thing I would Another thing I would recommend is basically also tracing is also a good way of learning. So I mean, um if you can find like a HD image and you can print it out, put like a tracing paper on top, and then kind of try to see like how they've accomplished those those marks, the mark making.
I saw like some process they use multiple tracing paper